So, in February this year, before the coronavirus was getting uploaded onto the Indian server, I traveled to Indore to fill my empty life with some travel memories. This was a solo travel, and I feel people travel solo for two reasons. One, because they don't have any friends, or the friends they have are not available and they are independent enough to travel by their own. Two, to find oneself. Now, personally, I find concepts like finding oneself, being yourself, knowing yourself, you are unique or special, you live only once, YOLO, and especially all those motivation speeches as utter bullshit. We all are just a pile of memories from our ancestral time to the present. We are bits and pieces of our parents, friends, society, teachers, religious belief, people we follow, things we read and watch, etc. So basically, we're a pen drive which has data that have been accumulated over the years and will go bad in some decades. Death. Your friends and family will still be here in this world. Life will go on as it was. Working, partying, new inventions coming up, technology getting upgraded. Maybe even the bullet train will be a reality, but you won't be here to witness any of it. And that's real FOMO. Missing a party or a music concert or your friend's baby's first poop is not FOMO. People like us have come and gone, and people like us will come and go. If you truly want to feel important, then see yourselves in others and help them. Rest all this you thing concurrent with the selfish theme of hedonism is the Maharaja Mac of bullsh. Oh, that's my stop. Indore. This was my first time in the state of Madhya Pradesh, though a few years ago I was in the state for 2 hours when I had to catch my connecting train to Agra from Bhopal. So we had got down at Habibganj around 5:30 in the morning, and next train was at 8 am from Bhopal Junction. That's 7 km from Habibganj. Since we had more than 2 hours, we walked to Bhopal Junction, and I must say it was a beautiful morning walk. But more beautiful than that was a poha jalebi we ate near the Habibganj railway station. And that's exactly the first thing I ate when I came out of the Indore railway station. This is one amazing breakfast, and for me, poha jalebi is synonymous with Madhya Pradesh. Poha and jalebi are like two different communities. When you see them together for the first time, it kind of feels weird, but when you experience them together, it turns out to be beautiful. I had only one day to explore Indore, and so I made a list of things to see and do in Indore. There was Chapandukhan, Central Museum, Indore Zoo, Regional Park, Anapuna Temple, Lalbar Palace, Kansa Mandir, Sarafa Bazaar and Rajwada. जितना हो सके सब देख लो, typical पैसा वसूल mentality. This also was the same order which I was going to visit them in, and the route map on Google looked like this. Since my hotel was very close to Rajwada, I kept it for the last. So the first place on the list is Chapandukhan, which is famous for its food, and there are a lot of videos on YouTube about the food you get here. Though I'm not a foodie, I personally didn't find this place that great as it is hyped to be. I mean, it's really good, but not actually great. One interesting thing here is the varieties you have. It's vast. This place is called Chapandukhan as it literally has 56 shops, though I didn't count each one of them, which are eateries that sell foods like kopra patties, dahi balle, chaats, rolls, hot dogs, which apparently are burgers but called hot dogs, and lots of other dishes. When I came here, the whole place was undergoing renovation, as you can see in this video. First I thought either way metro aa raha hai, but then I asked around and came to know about the renovation. The renovations got completed in the month of March this year, and now the whole place looks like a food court of a mall. After I was done with Chapandukhan, I came out and saw a rickshaw standing on the road. I asked, Bhaiya, Central Museum? He said, 100 rupiya hoga. Now from Chapandukhan to museum, it was only 3 kilometers, and I followed the rule of 20 rupees per kilometer maximum. So I said 50, he said 80. I said 50 again, he said 70. I said 950, to which he said, chalo theek hai 60. And finally we agreed on 60. Great success. When I got in the rig, he asked, aapko rasta pata hai na? Anyways, we managed to reach the museum with the help of Google Maps. The entry fee here is 10 rupees, 50 and 100 for photography and videography respectively. Artifacts displayed here ranges from the prehistoric to modern age. Next destination is Pipliapala Regional Park, and this is a bus station in Indore. After a quick stopover, I continue to the Pipliapala Regional Park, which is also called as Atal Bihari Vajpayee Regional Park. This is a beautiful park consisting of fountains, gardens, walkways, amphitheater, boat rides, etc. etc. A lot of things. As I said earlier, boat rides happen in this park. You can either ride this boat that you can see in this video, or else you have other options like the pedal boat and the speed boat. Banana boat ride too happens here. While you're enjoying this lovely boat ride, well, not actually, let me say something about the museums. Like the hair on my head is getting reduced day by day, the visitors to a museum is also getting reduced and is dying a slow death. We have to stop this by at least visiting a museum once in 3 months. This will encourage the staff over there and also generate some revenue to help maintain the museum or develop it into a more interesting and entertaining one with audio guides, AV setup, themed galleries, etc. The museum I just visited had hardly 10 people, that too on a Saturday. No wonder the rickshawala didn't know about the museum. Our next stop was supposed to be Anapuna Temple, but we are visiting the Lalbar Palace first as the entry closes at 5 pm. This is one thing that you have to keep in mind while visiting places, the entry and closing time. By the way, I have skipped the zoo as we don't need to go to the zoo to see animals. We very much have them in a society, and also due to the time constraint. Rickshaws don't take you inside the palace but only till the gate, and from there you have to walk. The gates of the Lalbar Palace is an exact replica of the gates of the Buckingham Palace in London. While we walk and raise the palace, let me tell you about the climate in Indore. This visit was towards the end of January and it was winter here. The day temperature was around 25 degrees Celsius and there was no humidity, making it a very ideal time to visit. But at night it gets cold. For a Mumbaikar, really cold. So if you're traveling by train, especially in a general or a sleeper class, make sure you have a blanket, or at night while sleeping you will shake more than the train. And this is the beautiful Lalbar Palace built by the Holkar dynasty. Photography is strictly prohibited inside and all your phones and cameras are to be deposited at the entry itself, which you can collect while going out. Hence I had to be content with the videos of the exteriors of this palace. This is definitely a must-visit place in Indore as it really will take you back in time. Not all the rooms are open for visitors, but whatever is very well maintained. Apart from the rickshawala that took me to the museum, all the other rickshawalas charged a reasonable fare, which was cheaper than what we pay in Bombay. The next stop is Anapuna Temple, which is not as famous as the other attractions in Indore. The reason I chose to go here is because in the photos of this temple I saw a Gopuram, which means gateway and is usually found in big South Indian temples. Central and Northern Indian temples usually don't have it, and hence I thought of going and seeing it. Very close to the Anapuna Temple is the Jhulelal Mandir. Jhulelal is the most revered deity of the Sindhis and is also called as a god of swing. It was almost 6:30 and I was heading to the Kansa Mandir, a Jain temple, the interiors of which is beautifully decorated with glass pieces. But the temple had already closed and I just got to see it from the outside. Both Sarafa Bazaar and Rajwada is pretty close to the Kansa Mandir and hence you can go by walking. By the way, this is Sarafa Bazaar, which is about to turn into a food street. So in the day, it's a jewelry bazaar and in the night it turns into a street food court. I had read somewhere that the jewelers who had the shop here promoted the street food vendors to put their shop in this bazaar so that it will act as a security against thieves entering their shops at night. I plan to come back to Sarafa Bazaar once the food stall started, but once I reached the hotel I was a little exhausted and lazy to come back. This is the Rajwada Palace, lit up in the tricolor as it was the Republic Day's Eve. And that's the end of my story in Indore. One day is not actually enough for visiting Indore and hence plan for at least 2 days here.